Alright, so you have a Hustler SD Raptor 60-inch, which I do, and you find that it throws the belt if you hit something. I just ran over a piece of tarp that I didn't mean to get over, and it has thrown the belt on this right hand side. It's done this to me twice, but I think I would rather it throw the belt than throw a bearing or bend a blade. But I'm going to show you how to get this belt back on track, and requires a little bit of elbow grease. First thing you want to do is remove this cover, and there are two 3/8 inch bolts here and here, and I've already loosened them. We simply get rid of those, set them aside. It doesn't matter where you put them because they will always disappear when you try to find them. And remove the cover, set it aside, and that exposes the pulleys that make this whole thing work. And this pulley is typically where it jumps from and goes underneath. Now curiously, underneath, I don't know if you can see this, there are two bolts right here. Here's one right over here. If you don't remove those, which is part of the base plate of this pulley, you'll never get this belt back on there, because it has gone somehow magically and mysteriously up underneath here and over those bolts. And the easiest way is to remove those two bolts. It's not that big of a deal, and I'll show you how to do that. Let's fold this little guard here up out of the way. When you buy your Raptor, you'll be tempted to cut this little piece off that you think comes with it just for shipping, which I'm sure it does. Don't cut this off. Leave it there. It holds this up out of the way. You can always slip it around like that, but it really, you can cut yours if you want to, but I'm just simply saying I found out that it's not a bad idea to keep that there. All right, let me grab some wrenches and we'll get on to putting the pulley back on. So I have removed the two bolts from here and here. I believe these are 1/2 inch. Can't remember exactly. You can try, these are 9/16 inch. You can try to get this belt back up underneath here without moving these two bolts, but it is pretty much an exercise in futility. And what I try to do is just simply pull it over till you can get a hold of it, someplace you can kind of stop. And I'm going to have to pause this recording so I can use both hands. With two hands, it's pretty much of a snap to get on there. Just be sure that you notice the chamfered edges of this belt here, that it goes into the little pulley here, so it isn't twisted, and that should get you going again. Once again, the trick to this is removing the two bolts. They come from under, they hold this pulley housing in here. They're a pain in the neck, but I really don't know of any other way to do it. First time I had this belt come off, it seemed to work forever until I finally broke down and decided to move it. But once you get that back in, make sure it's turning. Put your bolts back in, put your cowling back on, and you'll be back in business. That is on a Hustler Raptor SD 60 inch.